Hey guys, so this is the JJRC H62 Splendor. This is another one of their selfie drones in their long line of selfie drones. This one is foldable. It has a lot of interesting features. It's got a wide-angled 720p camera, pretty decent image quality. You'll see that here in a moment. And it does have an optical flow sensor on the bottom here for position hold. It has a detachable battery, and it just comes with a charger. It's 850 milliamp hour battery. Lasts about 8 minutes. That's about right. I'm getting about 6, 7, 8 minutes on this battery. It takes about an hour to charge on a USB charger, and it operates off of Wi-Fi. Connects to your smartphone, like a lot of these selfie drones. And the video, it records at 720p. It's a variable frame rate, like 20 to 30 frames per second. And I believe the photos that it takes are 5 megapixels. It does have altitude hold and position hold. Now it works sort of, but not like really well. And I say that sort of in I guess in comparison to what you something else that you've seen on my channel, the DJI Tello or the Rise Tello, and basically it's kind of like you get what you pay for. So the Rise Tello here, this one here costs about $100, and the JJRC costs about $55. So for about half the cost, you have similar features. You have optical flow, position hold, and altitude hold on this one. Same over here. You get a 720p camera. It takes photos and videos. Same over here, brushed motors. This one doesn't fold up, so it is a little bit bigger with the prop guards on, whereas this will fold down very nice and compact. Um, you know, very similar in a lot of aspects. You also control it via your phone. Now that's sort of where the similarities ends. I think the extra cost of the Tello, you get better software, and it comes out in terms of the way this little selfie drone flies, and also the footage. So for example, the video footage on the Tello is electronically stabilized, so even though this thing is rocking around in the wind, and you can actually see it rocking around when you're watching it line of sight, the video footage is actually pretty remarkably stable compared to how much it's moving, because it is electronically stabilized. Whereas I don't believe there's any electronic stabilization in the video footage is coming out of this H62. And so you see that when you're flying this in any kind of wind, you do see quite a bit of shaking in the video. And the other thing that is a big difference here is the Tello is able to handle some fairly windy conditions. I mean, obviously it's not that great and ideal to fly this in wind, and I wouldn't recommend it, but the H62 does handle wind quite a bit worse. It does drift a lot more. The optical flow sensor, I think, on this one isn't quite as good. It does tend to drift a lot more than on the Tello. And then I guess the last really big difference is the controls on the phone, the software app. The controls on the Tello are more, I guess, more refined. The app is a little bit nicer. There's less lag in the control, so you feel like you're more in control of this drone versus this one. There is a fair amount of lag and responsiveness in the controls when you give an input. It doesn't seem to respond right away. The lag is quite a bit more on the H62, so you'll see in some of the footage I'm showing you here, that it is fairly difficult to get it to stabilize and just kind of just hover right in front of a certain spot where you want to take a photo or a video. I'm constantly adjusting and readjusting the position of it because it's drifting around, and it's not staying where I want it to. So it's not responding and flying the way I want it to, and that is kind of a downside to this. Again, it's $55, so it's you kind of are getting what you're paying for. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and show you a little bit of footage I took from my hat cam when I was trying to fly at line of sight, so you can have an idea of how much is moving around in some windy conditions. I wouldn't recommend flying this in any kind of wind, especially in very strong gusty winds that I was trying to fly in that one day. I did try and fly in several other types of conditions in calmer days, and even just a little bit of wind does move this thing around quite a bit. So you have to be kind of watching it and on the controls and ready to make sure that it's not going to run into anything like trees or people or cars, etc. So that's something to keep in mind with this one. Okay, so I'm here at the park and I'm going to give this a try, and it's a little bit windy, so we'll see how this does in the wind. Go ahead and we'll take off. You can see that it's fighting the wind quite a bit here. Every time the wind hits it, it does shake a bit. But it is maintaining its position over the concrete. Let's see how it does over grass. So over grass, it seems to be okay as well. The wind's coming from it back, so you can see that it's getting pushed quite a bit. But now over the grass, it is a little bit more confused, so it's drifting. I'm going to bring it back. I had to bring it back manually. With the wind pushing it, the grass all kind of looks the same to it, I think. It is drifting a bit more. I'm going to bring it back over the concrete here. Yeah, it is fighting the wind quite a bit. Position hold in the wind is not so good with this model. Yeah, it's actually not able to control it at all. The wind is just pushing it away from me. Might have to end this test here. Okay, here's just a little bit of footage from the camera on the drone, and I'm just trying to get the follow me function to work here. I'm kind of like moving back and forth, and it doesn't actually seem to be working. I'll show you a little more example of this in non or less windy conditions. And the follow me function, I never really got it to work correctly. So just hang on here, I'll show you a little bit more of what I'm talking about. Okay, here's an example of the lag in the controls I was talking about earlier. Basically, I give it an input and it doesn't really respond right away. You give it an input and it takes about half a second to a second before it actually changes direction. So when you're flying this around, keep that in mind, that you do need to be anticipating the direction of where it's going and adjust it accordingly. Okay, here's an example of where I'm trying to get the follow me function to work, and this is in calm conditions. There's not a whole lot of wind. You can see the drone is kind of still shaking around quite a bit. And you can see it does identify me, and as I move towards it, the drone does back up. But when I move away from it, it's still tracking me, but it doesn't come towards me. It just stays there, stays stationary. And you can see I'm walking away, I'm looking back, and it's still not coming towards me, staying stationary. So it does seem to follow you if you move towards it, and it'll back up. And if you move side to side, it will track you side to side. But if you move away from it, it doesn't follow you. So it's kind of half working. I'm not exactly sure how some of the other reviewers got the follow me function to work, where it was following you when you're moving away from it. It just seems to know that you're there. It sees the green box around you, and it just doesn't seem to actually follow you. So here I'm just manually moving it towards me, and stop the follow me function. But it only seems to work if you move towards it or if you move side to side. Okay, so I'm going to end this review with some random video clips from the drone that I took while I was reviewing it. And, it is okay footage. It's, shaky. It's not as good as the Tello. The image is a bit cooler, a little bit more exposed than what you get on the Tello. And, of course, it's not stabilized as well. But it's somewhat usable. I mean, it is $55, and so you have to, like as I said earlier in the video, you kind of are getting what you're paying for. But just to give you an idea of what you're getting for, it's not. I think you should have realistic expectations of what you get for $55. It is, I think about what I would expect for that amount of money, and it is getting better in terms of what these toy drones are able to do with more features and such. But I think that it could use some more work. But if you're looking for something a little bit better, I would suggest getting the Tello instead of this one. But if you just want something to play around with and you want to fly this around in kind of light wind conditions and just get a little bit of footage and video footage and some photos, this is not bad for $55. Just that I think the reason I put the video together the way I did here is to give people a realistic expectation of what you're actually getting, versus something that you'll see somewhere else in another review where it looks like it's performing awesome. I just review it the way I see it. This is pretty much how my experience was with this, and this is pretty much what you're going to get, I think, if you buy this drone. So keeping that in mind, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.